So we've got the pump and we've just got the dump. So what's going on with Bitcoin? Let's have a look, and what's going on with some of these, well, two of the major ones. Just going to look at XRP and Ethereum, because I've noticed that throughout this entire dump that we've just had, or should I say the pump and the dump, because it's kind of what I was expecting. Bitcoin dominance has actually gone down by about 1% the last time I looked. So what's going on then? Let's have a look. So the last few videos I've been making weren't about Bitcoin, but I always lead into whatever coin I'm going to talk about with Bitcoin, because you've got to learn, you got to look at Bitcoin as essentially the governor of the entire market. Excuse me. And so what's happened here is and like I say, go back on my videos and just double check this, because it's all there. We are under a consolidation descending trend line that's lasted for 2 years, so that's likely to be quite strong, and probably to be rejected at least on its first pass. And then on top of that, what we do have is on top of that, what we've also got is a support trend, which is quite recent, so it's going to not be as strong, but it's been strong recently. Plus we've got all these other indicators to suggest that the momentum is still to the up. So yeah, we've just had a massive dump from our high of last night down to, the wick goes down there, so there's a 10% dump from yesterday's high. Now it could be scary when you look back at this trend line, because we topped out, and the first time when the trend it wasn't even a trend, it was just a strong rejection at this 20,000. okay, we came all the way down to, that's like 85% down. Okay, the second time we hit it here, I would say that, discounting what happened with the financial crash, 6,600 was the targeted area, so that was a 50% drop. Okay, so we've hit it here. Okay, I'm not going to say that we're going to be dropping 50% or 85% or anything along those lines. What I'm saying is that it was to be expected, because it's been such a significant area of resistance that testing it the first time probably would get rejection. Alright, breaking above it, however, though, is massively bullish. It's you could say probably the beginning of technically a really decent year, 12 months, 18 months perhaps, of bull market, but it didn't happen today. And what happened is that we were rejected on our first pass, and that's perfectly fine. That's really nothing to worry about. And like I say, the interesting thing is that dominance is still down by, it's trickling down. So alts are actually still quite strong in regards to this dump. So alts all dumped along with it. So XRP and Ethereum is all I'm going to be looking at here, and Ethereum obviously being very strong, actually looking really good on the daily there. It's still way above all major moving averages, way above. XRP not quite so much, and Bitcoin obviously looking really strong on the daily, still above all major moving averages still, and bouncing okay. What I would say is that we're essentially above the center of the Bollinger Band on a daily chart, so that's something to hold on to for the moment. Perhaps we'll bounce from that level being 9,400, roughly speaking, and obviously going up as we speak, on a day-to-day basis. Now the worst case scenario, well, not the absolute worst, but the area that I'd be worried about is if we came down and broke beneath this support trend. As you can see, we began the trend here where we broke out from this secondary, I've got trends all over the place, this descending trend line that we had here, and we broke up above that. Also 7,700 is a historical support resistance for it, so we broke up above there, did very nicely, and since we've come back down to test the descending, the uptrend of support, we've been supported quite nicely from it. But again, it's a new support, it's only very recent, it's no way near as relevant as this descending trend line. What I'm saying is that basically the momentum still and indicators still are all pointing to the up, generally speaking. At the moment, it could be a turning point, it could turn us back down, but at the moment they're still all looking okay, so I wouldn't get too overly worried or concerned about it. If we do get rejected from this level again though, I still wouldn't be too worried, as long as we're playing out within this this triangle that we're looking at here, and then we will hopefully break one way or another, I would expect, to the up. So let's have a look at XRP, what's going on here. So XRP was having a nice little run for itself, and I still believe it's likely to do that, holding above the green 50 exponential, which is good. And it was, actually that was the 200 EMA as well that we found our bounce on. So again, the support for with XRP, it's kind of ahead of Bitcoin in its chart formation, where we've broken out of our 2-year descending trend and currently stayed above it. It doesn't mean we can't come down to test it, which could be as low as whatever this would be at the time. So today that would be 16 cents. So I can't see that happening, but nothing's impossible with crypto. But at the moment we're just on the centre of the Bollinger Band, just being held there, and hopefully we'll find our recovery from that level also. But again, with Bitcoin specifically, we could come all the way down to this level here. 8,900 as of today could be our support level, looking for a bounce. And that's all I've really got going for you, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be too concerned until we break beneath this support trend, and if that happens, then I would be bearish on more of a longer term time frame. Maybe 7,700 would be my first opportunity to wait for a significant bounce and perhaps reversal. But there's one thing you've got to bear in mind, okay, and which is that as much as we like to hold Bitcoin, especially, above all other financial indices and stocks and commodities, it's actually very tied in to all those as well. So as much as this chart would look very bullish breaking above here, we saw what happened with the financial crash. That impacted Bitcoin just as much as it impacted everything else, and although Bitcoin has recovered from that and other things haven't, if you look at something like the Nasdaq, for instance, it has recovered, and I know the FTSE's not recovered, but it's doing okay. It's tied in. It's very well tied in. So if we look further into the future and think about, obviously Bitcoin has its own chart and we can read that, and there's like I say, analysis and indicators and tools that we can use to spot trends, and they do generally work. We couldn't account for that, and the way things are looking at the moment aren't looking too healthy for the rest of the market in general. The world economy is not looking too great. So take the moon with a pinch of salt, and just be very careful about what you believe in. All right, Bitcoin is a leveraged tradable asset. It's a commodity pretty much at this point now, just like gold. You can trade gold. Who wants gold? No one really needs gold. When people have it, it's a store of value, it's a trinket or whatever. Bitcoin is like a digital gold, I get that, but gold dumps, and Bitcoin dumps, Nasdaq's dump, FTSE's dump, the DAX's dump, everything dumps, and they will all dump together if the world continues on its current trajectory, which doesn't look very fruitful. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Like I say, I'm not too concerned about this at the moment. A nice bounce to the centre of pretty much taking out all yesterday's gains is not such a big deal. Breaking down beneath the uptrend of support is a big deal to me, and I would flip bearish when I see that daily candle close beneath there. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice evening. Take it easy.